All right, welcome back to another Tul World podcast.
Pow.
I'm your host, David Jew, and I'm here with Master Jew.
How's it going there, Mr. Jew?
We can't do that again. I want to do that again.
How's it going, Mr. Jew?
It's going good.
Okay.
Anyways, so what's been on this week's topic? What's been on your mind lately?
Nothing's ever on my mind. No, I have a lot on my mind.
Almost too much is on your mind.
Get distracted easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were going to talk a little bit about young instructors.
Yeah, I guess teenage instructors, so people that aren't 18. I think that's pretty common.
Is it? Do you know anybody?
Well, we've been at it ourselves. You know,
Well,
we
I guess
started up.
the question would be, to me, I think the question would be, if you think of it in that term, is everyone an instructor? I know, like Mr. Wold, he says, you're an instructor. You're a blue belt. You are an instructor. You have to,
Help
those
out
kind
a
of
white
things.
belt?
Help out a white belt.
Well, I'm talking about somebody that leads the class.
Leads the class.
We've had that before. Not so much recently, just because we've been very blessed with some of our older students being instructors.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. Can we call them instructors or should we call them assistant instructors?
Okay.
And it doesn't matter with the age, I think. Basically, if you look at the system that we use, first to third degrees are considered assistant instructors. Fourth degree and above is an instructor. Seventh and above is master instructor.
Right.
So, and why is that? Well, I think that, if you're a first or second degree, third degree, obviously you don't have that as much training. You haven't learned about a lot. Well, just from the curriculum or the Taekwondo stuff. I mean, there's more to being an instructor than just learning those things. Is they haven't learned all of the requirements. So that's why we call them assistant instructors. That's why I think they're really assistant instructors. So we might have a 15-year-old person up and leading a class, but they're under supervision by someone, a fourth degree and above, that is supervising them. I think
true.
what you're kind of talking about is, can we have an instructor that is 15, 14, whatever, and leading their own club, leading their own school,
Okay, sure.
right? Yeah, why not? I mean, there's so much more that an instructor has to learn, but can they teach like Chanji Dangun? Can they show them how to do a kick? Absolutely, I think that can happen. Actually, I have a student that had his own school, but the parents were running the business, but he was the head instructor, and he's very good from the Taekwondo technical point of view, and he did know all the requirements, so he was able to be the instructor. So yeah, I think it can be done.
Right.
And whenever you're instructing somebody, even if you are a blue belt, even if you're, well, I remember one of the rules when I started Taekwondo was, and I wonder if it's in the second. I haven't looked at it at a while, but one of them was no smoking in the dojang. Well, not very many people smoke nowadays. No shoes in the dojang, no eating in the dojang, no idle chatter in the dojang.
Yeah.
And one was no instructing without the instructor's permission.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know whether or not that person's going to teach what's correct or not correct. But hey, you're a blue belt, and your neighbors want to learn Taekwondo, but it's too far away to come to go to a Taekwondo school. Can they teach it? The instructor says, yeah, go for it. Why not? Do it.
Well, I would assume that line would be pertaining to like in the class. So when you're in the class and a black belt turns around and helps another student, that would be instructing without asking for the instructor's permission first.
Right.
Because that does kind of break up the flow of the class.
Right. Oh, you mean when the black belt turns around and starts helping out a low rank and the instructor is trying to teach a class?
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
They don't watch this podcast either.
But no, I think what you're saying about the club is very valid, and I think that is true. I think what I was talking about was, could you have the 14 or 15-year-old as the head instructor with an adult supervision, but that adult doesn't do Taekwondo? So it's not necessarily the, owner of the school per se.
Right, and so that's the case of that student that I was talking about.
Oh, I see. But that was his kind of thing. It was his own thing.
Right.
Right. But
He
I'm talking
wanted to
about
do it.
like if you had your own school and you brought in other instructors.
So can I hire, basically,
Could you hire
can I
your
hire
first dan
first dan to lead a class?
and you're not even
because
there,
the
you just have an
instructor's
adult?
lazy.
Yeah.
No.
But that happens a lot, does it not? I mean, you hear a lot of stories like that.
It's good. I mean, it's good. It's good and bad, I guess. Because it's good because you got to develop the next generation of instructors. Mm-hmm. They've got to have that learning experience. They've got to have that, right? And so if I give a first degree and say, hey, you're going to lead the class, I mean, we've done it. Mm-hmm. And I generally am sitting there watching and taking notes on how they can be better at it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good way of developing instructors for the future, right?
Right.
Would I leave that person to be there by themselves? Well, no, I wouldn't.
No, you can't. You have to have an adult there.
You need to have an adult that can watch the other part of it too.
Yeah.
So yes, I think you can. But and like I said, there's also the bad side too. I mean, you go to schools, martial arts schools, and well, I don't know. I don't go to a lot of other martial arts schools and ask them about their curriculum. But we have people that come. Are your instructors teenagers, or who teaches a class?
Yeah, I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
What rank is your instructor?
Well, obviously, the reason why they're asking is because they visit other schools, and what they have is teenagers teaching it. That's hard to say if it's good or bad. Does age make a difference? And the answer is yes and no, I think. Age makes a difference because of maturity level, right? They don't necessarily understand all the ins and outs of interacting with people because instructors also have to understand the students' behavior or their issues and stuff like that. And I'm not sure a teenager's quite ready, not to say that they're not. I mean, some are very capable of doing it. Mm-hmm. So it kind of depends, right? Mm-hmm. But if I was just someone from the outside looking at it, it's like, a teenager is leading a martial art class. How much experience do they have to do that? I mean, look, you did it when you were 5 years, but when you were 15 years old, you had 10 years of martial art experience. Mm-hmm. It's a good experience. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe the equivalent of an adult doing it for 3 years.
Maybe. But then maybe that adult, but in that same amount of time, it would have become a first degree. Are they capable of teaching a class? It's
a good question, yeah.
So it depends on the individual. But I think from a outside person looking in, I would go, you got a little kid doing a class. I may not want to do it there.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you're an adult.
Yeah. Especially as a parent.
Especially if you're a parent, right?
Well, let us know your thoughts on young instructors. Have you ever come across somebody that was young and they started their own club? We'd always love to hear those kind of success stories. But don't forget to be safe.
Keep training.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Take one.